Hey everyone, today I am working on a rack and pinion swap out. It has been quite the pain, but I don't want to share too much of that with you in this video. What I wanted to talk about is one of the things that you should do if you replace any failed power steering component. Now, what does that include? On a regular run-of-the-mill vehicle, usually that is one of probably two components. If you have a power steering pump failure, which is probably the most common, or in my case, if you have a rack and pinion failure, either one of those has the opportunity to introduce contaminants in the system. And what you don't want is for those contaminants to be left over when you put a new component back on, because typically, every manufacturer will tell you warranty will only be valid if, somehow I guess you can prove that you put a filter on it. I'm not real sure how all that works. I hope I never have to, work through something like that. But point being is there is plenty of research, plenty of evidence that shows contaminants in power steering systems can shorten the lifetime of your system. So what you want to do is, specifically when you replace a component or as a proactive measure, either one, is to, look into one of these power steering filter solutions. Most of them that go on a, in a system, and I've already taken the staples out of this, so it's going to fall apart on me. Most of the power steering systems don't have any type of filtration system built into it. Now, with that being said, I am nowhere near familiar with every vehicle on the road. So I have seen, when searching for the universal kits, power steering filters that look like they're purpose made for some kind of vehicle. So some of them probably do, most of them probably don't. This is an old 2010 Caravan, which does not. What we decided to go with is one of these inline power steering filters. This one specifically is an Edelman Elite. Hopefully you can see that. And what you see here is the filter here, and then there are options for different size inlets. So this has got a 3/8, a 1/2 inch, and a 5/8 inlet and outlet option. And then there's some clips that I'm assuming you just take off, and you can pull the ends out of these. Hope that means that they're not prone to leaking, and put, whichever ends that you need to match your hose. Speaking of hoses, you want to put a inline filter like this on the return. So typically a power steering reservoir has two lines that come out of it. One is going to feed the power steering pump itself, so that will be the supply line. Don't want to touch it. And then the other one is going to be your return. So basically, the pump gravity feed out of the power steering reservoir into the pump, pressure there, pumps it through the system, and then again there's a return. Specifically here, it'll be on the rack and pinion. Could be a steering box if it's an older vehicle. Regardless, wherever it's at, there's going to be something that feeds the power steering fluid that's been through the system back into the reservoir. At that point, on the return, is where you want to try to capture any kind of particles and whatnot. The way to identify that is basically just look to see which one of the hoses coming off of your reservoir where you put the power steering fluid in is feeding your power steering pump, and then know that it's not that one, it's the other one. In this case, in my case, the feed to the pump is the bigger of the two hoses, and it is on the bottom. So a reservoir, siphon feed, obviously the feed that you're putting into the pump is going to be on the very bottom. The return is going to be on the top. Smaller hose, in my case, on the top. It looks more like a 5/16-ish hose, but hopefully a 3/8 is going to go in there. This thing says it fits 99% of the vehicles. Let's hope that a 2010 Town & Country isn't in the 1 percentile. But at any rate, what you want to do, and I'll show you, I'll put the camera down here so you can see, is basically, on the rubber part of the return, anywhere you can find that's easy to get to, preferably, before the reservoir, cut that hose, and essentially you want to cut a piece out of it that's going to be yay length or so, and secure, put this thing, this is directional, I do believe, meaning that there's an in and an out. I'm pretty sure that's the case, so be sure when you buy one of these that you make sure, yep, it's got a, let me take it out because this thing's going to come apart on me anyway. You can see here, flow. So basically, the flow on the return, basically this arrow you're going to want pointing toward the reservoir. So cut the hose in, out, and then to the reservoir. If you turn it the opposite way and the flow is pointing back toward the steering box or the rack and pinion in this case, then you got it pointed in the wrong direction, and most likely you will block the flow altogether, and I don't know what kind of condition that would cause, but it probably won't be good. So be sure you do that and then secure it good with clamps. I will say that it is very confusing when you go and you're looking through power steering components, rack and pinion, power steering pumps. You got these shops that do the rebuild, and you get all these negative reviews. Well, it's very hard to tell, is it the shop's fault? Did they do a shoddy job at doing any of the component rebuilds, or is it the installer's fault for not putting a filter on it after they got through? It could be either. So one thing that I'll say is, don't be in that statistic where, if you look, I guarantee you, any kind of review on a parts house website that you look at before you buy one of those components, you're going to be, a 50-50 shot where somebody's going to complain that it only lasted 3 months, and then some people, that just put it on is going to say, oh, it's been great, whatever. So don't take that chance. Now, if you're not replacing any kind of power steering components and you just want to take some proactive measures, I don't think that this is a bad thing whatsoever to install. I did see in some forums people said, oh, that's just another point that you're creating where it could leak, and well, there's some truth to that. If you get it secured properly with the clamps, then you're not really going to have to worry about whether or not it leaks. But I think the benefits definitely outweigh the cons, and you could potentially add to the lifetime of your system by making sure that this thing is trying to filter out as much of the components, contaminants as possible. I believe there's some kind of magnet in here, which is how it's doing its filtration. So we'll see, but I wanted to run that by you real quick, and hopefully it'll help you out when you're working on power steering. This one was around 30 bucks, depending on the deal of the day at your favorite parts house, or the brands somewhat vary on cost, but anywhere between 30 and 50 bucks most likely is what you're going to pay for this thing. I would honestly take advantage of you know, you breaking the system apart, if you will, and changing as much of the power steering fluid as you could at the same time, especially if it's old and dark and smelly and whatnot. You could even, take multiple ways you could do that. The easiest way to do it would be to unhook the supply line from the reservoir and drain it all into some type of container there. If you've got a syringe, an old syringe that you use to give the kids medicine or something like that, you could draw it all out from the top, throw it away after that, or make sure you keep it in the garage. Don't put it back in the Tylenol drawer. But either one of those type methods will get most of the fluid out, and again, good idea to flush the system if you can. Be sure you put the right fluid back in it. Some systems, like this one specifically, uses automatic transmission fluid. It uses the same ATF4 that goes in the transmission for the power steering system. So it's always a good idea to look in your shop manual or Haynes manual, whatever you got. Last resort, Google, and make sure don't just go on the first result. Fact check that the best you can. Make sure that you're putting the right stuff in it, because that is another thing that you can do to easily ruin a power steering system, is use the wrong fluid. So don't do that either. So there's a skinny on power steering filtration do-it-yourself method, and we're going to get to cracking on this thing and put this filter in line, and hopefully get the van back on the road soon. Thanks all.